In 2005, Hilary Swank stood under bright lights, holding her second Oscar in her hands. She smiled, thanked her husband, and told the world he was her everything. 1 year later, they were signing divorce papers. At the same time, her movies were failing, her health was collapsing in silence, and the industry that once praised her could no longer decide where she belonged. The rise had been breathtaking. The fall was quiet, confusing, and deeply painful. What really happened to the actress who seemed unstoppable? The answer lives in forgotten hospital visits, rejected insurance claims, and a repeating cycle that few people noticed until it nearly broke her. Hilary Swank's story did not begin with glamour or comfort. She was born on July 30, 1974, in Lincoln, Nebraska, into a family that was constantly searching for stability. Her childhood was marked by movement, uncertainty, and financial struggle. Eventually, her parents settled in Bellingham, Washington, but life did not suddenly become easier. By age 6, Hilary was living in a trailer park near Lake Samish, a place that made her feel invisible before she even understood why. At school, she learned how cruel people could be without saying a word. When classmates found out she lived in a trailer, parents quietly pulled their children away from her. Invitations stopped coming. She watched other kids enjoy parties and sleepovers while she stayed home, pretending it didn't hurt. But it did. The message was clear: where you live can decide how people treat you. That lesson stayed with her for life. Isolation pushed Hilary inward. She found comfort in books and films because they never rejected her. Stories became a refuge. In them, she saw characters who survived pain and came out stronger. Those stories gave her hope when real life offered very little. She later said that acting grew from that feeling, a need to belong somewhere, even if it was inside a fictional world. Life at home was tense. Her parents were always stressed about money. Arguments were common, and peace was rare. When Hilary was 15, her parents' marriage ended. The divorce changed everything. Her mother, Judy, knew staying meant giving up. So she made a choice that felt terrifying. In 1990, she and Hilary packed their belongings, grabbed $75 and a single gas card, and drove to Los Angeles with no safety net. When they arrived, they had nowhere to go. For weeks, they slept in their car. Hilary went to auditions exhausted, wearing borrowed clothes and washing up in public bathrooms. She understood how close they were to losing everything, but she never stopped showing up. Acting was no longer a dream. It was survival. Back in Washington, theater had been her only safe place. At 9 years old, she played Mowgli in the Jungle Book and felt something shift inside her. For the first time, people applauded her. For the first time, she felt seen. That feeling stayed with her, even when life became harder. After weeks of living in their car, Judy found a job, and they rented a small room in Burbank. It wasn't much, but it felt like hope. Hilary started booking small television roles. The pay was tiny, but every job felt like progress. She often said that those years taught her gratitude, because she knew exactly what it meant to have nothing. Hollywood was brutal. Rejection followed her everywhere. She auditioned endlessly and watched roles go to actors with famous names. She took uncredited work just to stay close to the industry. In 1992, she appeared briefly in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The role didn't change her life, but it kept her moving forward. She worked on shows like Growing Pains, Evening Shade, and Harry and the Hendersons. The roles were small, but they kept her alive in the system. In 1994, she finally landed a lead role in the next Karate Kid. The movie failed badly. It became the weakest film in the franchise and slowed her momentum once again. By the late 1990s, Hilary was exhausted. She took roles that went nowhere and began questioning whether she belonged in Hollywood at all. Then came Beverly Hills 90210. She was promised 2 seasons. After 16 episodes, her character was erased. She was sent away quietly, as if she never mattered. The moment crushed her confidence. She seriously considered walking away from acting. Then, everything changed. Only 2 months later, she auditioned for Boys Don't Cry. The role demanded everything she had. She cut her hair, bound her chest, changed her walk, and lived as a man for weeks. She studied court records and interviews. She pushed herself so deeply into the character that she began to lose pieces of herself. It was terrifying, but she didn't stop. When the film premiered in 1999, audiences were stunned. Critics called her performance unforgettable. At the 2000 Academy Awards, Hilary Swank won Best Actress, one of the biggest surprises in Oscar history. Overnight, she went from being fired from a teen drama to standing on the world's biggest stage. But that night carried pain too. In the rush of emotion, she forgot to thank her husband, Chad Lowe. The mistake became a headline. The moment haunted her. Though Chad forgave her instantly, the media never did. Her greatest achievement became tangled with public embarrassment. In 2005, she did the impossible again. For $1 Million Baby, she trained for 5 hours a day. She boxed, lifted weights, ate thousands of calories, and transformed her body completely. She pushed through injuries and exhaustion. When the film premiered, she won her second Oscar, one of the youngest women ever to do so. On stage, she called her husband her everything. A year later, they were separated. The pattern became impossible to ignore. Every major success in her career was followed by personal collapse. After Boys Don't Cry, her marriage cracked. After $1 Million Baby, it ended. They divorced in 2007. She later spoke about how hard she tried to save the relationship while quietly dealing with her husband's addiction and the pressure of fame. Hollywood expected her to keep delivering masterpieces. Instead, her films began to fail. The Black Dahlia lost money. Amelia flopped. The Reaping disappointed. Even when critics praised her work, audiences stayed away. The industry didn't know where to place her anymore. 2 Oscars made her prestigious but also difficult to cast. While her career slowed, her body was fighting a battle she kept private. For more than a decade, she suffered from ovarian cysts and endometriosis. In 2008, she lost one ovary in emergency surgery. The pain never stopped. She kept working through it. When her insurance denied treatment, she finally spoke out. In 2020, she sued her union's health plan after years of rejected claims. Her case sparked conversations across Hollywood about women's health and how often it's ignored. Life changed again in 2018 when she met Philip Schneider on a blind date. The connection was calm, gentle, and real, something she had never experienced before. They married quietly. In 2023, at age 48, she gave birth to twins after freezing her eggs years earlier. The pregnancy was difficult, but the joy was overwhelming. After decades of fighting, she finally found peace. Hilary Swank's story is not just about success. It is about endurance. She won 2 Oscars, and paid a heavy price for both. Behind every standing ovation was pain no one saw. And yet, she never stopped moving forward. Because the girl who once slept in a car never stopped believing that stories could save you, and in the end, she became one.